And good morning, everybody. Welcome in to another edition of the Pattison Ave Sports Show. I'm your host, James Scorza, with you. No Joey Morks with us this week, but joining us as a co-host and with me, as always, is the guy that runs a co-founder of Hardcore Sports Network and also my co-host of Fly Like an Eagle is Mitch Kofsky. Mitch, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Ready to talk some birds, and it's nice to be here when someone you know was right about the Phillies. I'm just gonna say that right now. I'm just gonna say that right now. Oh
Hey, look,
man, that feels
you
that
know
feels
what?
good.
Hey, you know what, man? I'll tell you what. I mean, I guess I'm in the same boat as you were, Mitch. Obviously, I said this team was more expected than it was, than unexpected at the same time, too. So
Yeah.
I guess we're basically on the same boat here, too. But hopefully, but if you see the background, obviously, it's an Eagles show here today. We got the Chargers coming up this week, obviously. But we're going to dive into it all here today, obviously. But before we do any further here, first and foremost, Mitch, the thing I want to ask you here too is before we get into the Eagles topic here is that do you see anything? Do you see? I mean, since the winter meetings are coming up here in the next couple of days or so, you see the Phillies doing anything special?
Do I see them doing anything special? No.
Nah, I don't either.
I'm
No,
gonna
that's
say this
we can
right
all
now.
go
No.
home. Yeah, right.
For me, I don't see them. I see them losing key players. That's all I
Yeah.
can see. That's all I can see
Yeah, I
right
do
now.
too. I do too. Gonna admit. All right, let's break the camel's back here and talk about this Philadelphia Eagles team, shall we? Because obviously, the last couple of times when we've seen each other, it was a little bit of disappointment. It was before the game. It was the Dallas game. We talked about it on Hardcore Sports Network and also Stream Punk Entertainment on Fly Like an Eagle. After the Dallas game, we weren't on the show airwaves because of the game last week because due to the Black Friday game.
Mhm.
But at this point in the season, the last two teams has the worst defenses in the league, and this is all Joey's questions I'm going to ask you here too, and I'll probably segue into other stuff here. So, what level of panic do you feel about this team right now with this Eagles team? How do you feel going into this game coming up on Monday?
I'm nervous. Like I said yesterday on Fly Like an Eagle, me
Mm-hmm.
and you, Joe, we're all pretty nervous here. We're just like one of those guys where it's just like, what is going on
Right.
inside the locker room? I
Morning,
feel
Anton.
like it's something that we can't ignore, and it's just something like something's bothering him.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing we can do to fix it, and the Eagles got to get it out of the rut. Here's the best part. Here's the funny part.
What's
We're
that?
8-4.
Yep.
We're 8-4, and I'm nervous going into the Chargers, going up against my former Michigan head coach.
Yeah, you know it.
Who
So
cheated? I'll say that he did cheat.
my team
Michigan,
too,
I
right?
can say that. I can
He,
say
he,
that.
he ain't a Guerrero with it. If he ain't treating, he ain't trying.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I'm worried about this game too, Mitch. I'm right there with you, especially the last two games that we saw with this Eagles team. You think about the Dallas game when they were up 21-0, and unfortunately, that was basically giving Dallas the second half without even blinking. So basically, like gave Dallas the game basically without saying it. So for me, that Chicago game really worried me on the running back side because you think about the two players that were affected with DeAndre Swift, and I keep on forgetting his name. I forget his name, but it was some kind of a. It was I think it was
Yeah, I
Joey
got it.
Joey brought it up yesterday, but there was a time when I said to myself, "Man, these two Bears players are going to remind me of Walter Payton and Gale Sayers in their prime. I mean, just to see how they got I mean, the defense just got gashed in that, and that whole entire game was unbelievable, man. And I think that's one thing that's going to be the the buzzsaw that's going to come into this week because obviously. You think of the Chargers. I mean, Justin Herbert with that troublesome hand that he had to deal with on his right hand. I'm just sorry, his left hand rather. So that's going to be a big factor for him too. But the other thing that really bothers me about it too is that we don't even put pressure on quarterbacks like that. We would have thought Caleb Williams would have been like a guy we'll put pressure on, or we'll put pressure on Dak Prescott. But the last time I checked, the last time we had a good defensive game, was hard to believe almost a month ago already. And we're talking about that time when Jared Goff seen ghosts with this defensive team, and now,
Yeah.
and I mean, I don't even know how to begin. I mean, I looked good at first when the Lions game, but then it just started to like spoil out of control. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think about how bad this team has looked the last couple of weeks or so. And dare I say this, but if this continues, this could be worse than 2023. Going to admit.
Yeah. So that Bears running back, his name is Kyle Managa.
That's right.
Yeah. He's a rookie, a 7th-round pick, 233rd. I mean, 7th-round pick, pick number 233.
So it was Mr. Irrelevant. So we got to know.
Yeah.
Pretty much,
Pretty much. He came from Rutgers.
Oh,
so
wow.
He's a Rutgers guy. So that's kind of cool.
So
but, yeah,
he's another Isaac Pacheco, I guess. I guess he's another Isaac Pacheco, basically. Right.
That's pretty much it.
All right. So so the second question I got, Joe's got to ask here, and we'll piggyback off each other. Same here too. So clearly, the offense has shortcomings of not just one person who has the most blame here, but who is the strongest person to be able to rally together to put this offense back together at this point?
Who's the guy that can bring the offense together?
Mm-hmm.
You know who it is? I'm gonna go with. I'm not gonna go with Jalen. I'm going with Saquon. I'm going to go with Saquon Barkley because he's been the perfect teammate for these guys, and they all look to him for advice, and especially the younger guys. And this may not be his best year compared to last season. He can't top that, but he's the kind of guy that can bring everyone together. Same with Hurts, but I feel like the way Hurts has been playing this past couple of games, that it's not going to move the needle as much. So I'm going to go with Saquon Barkley on that.
So I'm in the same boat as you. I think Saquon is a leader presence, especially what he was last year to this point, especially when the team was starting to get their feel of that Super Bowl. And he said, it's still 0-0 until the clock hits 0 until we are Super Bowl champs, obviously. But I'm going to go with Devontae Smith on this one. I mean, obviously, you think of Devontae, how he's become, like that Hard Knocks series, obviously. Like, they showed, like, Devontae and Jalen, obviously, talking about a play that they miscommunicated. And I look at Devontae Smith, with his years with Alabama. Obviously, I was a big Georgia Bulldog fan, gonna admit. And so Adam Seastar checks in and says, "What's up, guys? What's up, Adam? Good to see you again, buddy. Thanks a lot for chiming in. I really do appreciate it. So, I mean, with Devontae Smith, I think his captain presence should be a factor here, too, because he won the Heisman Trophy back in that 2020 year. So he has the capability, like Saquon, like you brought up there, Mitch, is that he could be captain material. So I think it could be obviously there's like probably 6 captains that could be a leader presence. I mean, you think of like the captains that the Eagles have, and maybe Jordan Mailata could be a captain too for the offense too here too, especially. But if I gotta pick one, I gotta go with Devontae on this one because especially what he had shown with the level. I mean, the reason why he's the dagger for a reason is because when there's games that were like really good for him, obviously, and also when there's games that are like trying to like you think about that Super Bowl when he made that catch, that was the dagger, and that's probably what he got his name after that. So I got to go with Devontae on that one more than anything. So yeah, I think, but Saquon, I do agree though, a leader presence like in that locker room could be. I mean, it could be either Devontae or Saquon at this point. I mean,
so
that's how I look at it.
It's actually kind of funny how you said Devontae Smith because that's my favorite Eagle. Not a lot of people know that. He's my favorite Philadelphia Eagle ever since he got drafted. Yeah. I'm telling you, just the skills that he possesses, the mindset that he has. He could be a number one on multiple teams. He could be a number one wide receiver on like this team, that team, especially like the Saints, the Titans. I can go on and on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
like Devontae Smith is just that damn good, and he's our number 2.
Yeah.
So it's just like you gotta give credit where credit is due. With Devontae, he had a couple seasons where he broke 1,000 yards, and he had a great time and a great career at Bama. So yeah, not a lot of people know that Devontae Smith is my favorite Eagle.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's where I'm in the same boat as you are too with Devontae, with his leader presence and also how he was as a player. I mean, you think about it. He was the one. I mean, dare I say this as a Georgia Bulldog fan, he was the two guy that him and Jalen Hurts were like they're throwing in the side for Georgia. But now I'm glad now they're they're all coming together. I mean, hopefully they'll come together now on the Georgia defensive side too. So, the other thing that surprises me with Devontae Smith, when I saw him come out, and see how skinny he was, I really thought for sure. I said to myself, "Dude, this is gonna be another Todd Pinkston." But
Mhm.
it's not even that at all. I mean, he might be like the skinniest dude, but he's like so effective. It's like kind of like we have another version of probably the best player that probably came out in that draft that year was Devontae Smith, and kudos to Howie for drafting him. And Adam Cisa checks in and says, Smitty could be number 1, especially if AJ Brown leaves. Let me ask you about that too, because the whole saga with the AJ Brown situation here, especially coming up forward here. But do you think if, say, for example, AJ Brown says, "I just want to be traded," and he gets traded to some other team, but do you think Devontae Smith could take that role to be that number 1 in the future?
Yes, 1,000%. Because we've already seen it. We've already seen him as the number 1 without AJ Brown. So with that being said, it's just like Devontae can definitely be the number 1. I think he's a better route runner than AJ. I think he's a better he's faster than AJ. AJ's just more aggressive. AJ can make that catch on a 1-on-1 with against the cornerback. So AJ Brown has a lot of skills, and he can definitely be the number 1 in the future. But to the number 2, that's yet to be determined. I don't want to go
Yeah,
down that route because we got AJ Brown and Devontae. I just don't want
right.
to go down that route.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is that if you say, for example, if AJ does get traded, right, and Devontae is number 1, like number 2 is like Jahan Dotson, and the next one is like Darius Cooper or something like that. So it's not a good mix, obviously, especially to see how AJ's been disgruntled. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say disgruntled, but in ways, like now he's getting his receptions, and even Michael Barkamp brought it up last night on Birds Huddle. Was like, yeah, AJ's getting his receptions, but the offense is starting to lower down a peg a little bit. That's probably the one thing is too. You thought, okay, the offense is finally, I mean, AJ's finally getting his receptions now, so like you think the offense will be starting to click a little bit, right? So that's probably that's the other thing too here is that yeah, it's just all bad right now too. But let's move on here. So obviously this is a good question I would like to ask you here too. So thinking back to the 49ers game a few years ago, the Phillies, I'm sorry, the Eagles rather, were dressed all in black, and that was at the beginning of a death spiral for that season in 2023. With that game against the Bears, against the Bears, and the Eagles were dressed in all black. Obviously, it was Black Friday, and if in case you haven't noticed, Black Friday is not a good thing here in Philadelphia because we just had Black Thursday with the Phillies, Eagles, and the Flyers losing that night too on that October day back in 2000, back this year. Hard to believe, but let's get back here. Let's get back to the point here. So did we just witness another death spiral with this Eagles team, especially like that? I mean, obviously, I don't want to compare it to 2023, but there is similarities to what this 2023 brought to the team here. So, like like Joey asked here, is this another next spiral of another season that could be just like 2023?
It definitely could. It definitely could because what we have witnessed in the last couple of games, especially against that Dallas Cowboys game, we were up 21, like we were up a good margin, and then in the second half we just collapsed. It feels like the Sixers. The Sixers start off hot, and then in the second half they start to fall down, but they still
Mm-hmm.
get the W.
Mm-hmm.
I had to throw that out there, but Look, it's just like I hate it the way this team is going right now.
Yeah.
There has to be a change. There has to be a massive change that will make like a statement, whether it's fire Kevin Patullo, whether it's like, I don't know, make a trade in the off season or something. There has to be a big move that will make an impact, especially in this locker room. Like we talked about Brandon Graham, right?
Hmm.
Brandon Graham, in my opinion, has not really made much of an impact because we've seen the team crumble in the last couple of weeks, and Brandon Graham's supposed to be there for the locker room. Maybe he is. We're not sure. I'd rather be a fly on the wall and see what's going on in like the meetings and stuff, but it's just like we need a better presence in the locker room right now, I feel like. And we're
Yeah.
8-4. I can't believe we're saying this and we're 8-4.
Yeah, we shouldn't be worried about this team at 8-4. And that's exactly right there. That's exactly right, Mitch. Because you think about this team right now that is 8-4, right? And you
Mm-hmm.
think about this team that even the Cowboys, the way they lost a couple nights ago, I said to myself, is they're like the Cowboys are basically giving you the division, they're giving you a Christmas present early, but they're like, nah, I want to wait until Christmas. I want to be surprised. Screw that, you know. That's how I feel about it. I said to myself, it's like, okay, so there's a Christmas present underneath the tree, obviously, that your NFC East division could actually come down to the next couple of days or so. And this game against the Chargers on Monday night and against the Raiders that following Sunday, and the Eagles are probably standing there like, nah, I'll wait until Christmas to open it up because I don't want to be spoiled by it. I mean, but you already know the present is already, you know what it is, obviously. I mean, obviously, if you're if you're an Eagles fan right now, you had to be pulling your hair out to say, like even you brought it up here too, Mitch, is that we're 8-4, but it feels like we're struggling so much so that the team continues to struggle in every which way. And so Adam Cease brings up a good point here. So, who do you think will step up on Monday night since Jalen Carter is going to miss this game due to a troublesome shoulder?
That is a good question. By the way, shout out to Adam. He's going to
Yeah,
be on Weekend Wake Up with me in Philly halftime. So he's
nice.
going to be on today. So shout out to Adam, man. Looking forward to having you on to talk about the Eagles yet
Hell
again.
yeah, man.
But who do I think? Uh, on the defensive line or just like in defense in general? Because the defense in general
Um,
over the last week was just terrible. So if I had to pick, I'm
I
gonna go
think
Jordan
defensive
Davis.
stuff. Jordan
Yeah,
Davis.
yeah. I'm gonna go with Jordan Davis just because that he can get everyone on him, but he can still make that much of an impact so the other players can get by, like the edge rushers, like Nolan Smith or whatever. So Jordan Davis is going to attract more of the attention. So I'm going to go with Jordan Davis on that just for the attention.
You know, I brought it up yesterday about the Eagles' defensive front. I said to myself, "Is well, not the defensive front, but more like the defense in general." I have to say here too, this is probably the game that Zach Bond probably comes back out of his shell a little bit after last year. I mean, you know what would have thought last year with Bond, especially how much he was a success on that linebacker position. But I think this year he lost. I think he lost his step a little bit here too, because I think the other thing that I want to see out of Zach Bond here too is that I mean I don't know if it was a contract year and he wanted to prove himself to the Eagles, but at the same time too is that it's just so bad right now on both sides of the field. It's just like I don't know what side who would step up here, but if I had to pick one, I would have to go with Nakobe Dean. Obviously, I'm a big Nakobe Dean fan, and I think the linebacker presence on the field will be a big factor in this game here too, especially when you think about the on that front. That I mean, if you want to, I mean, here's the other thing too that really surprises me more than anything: Justin Herbert coming back after getting surgery on that left wrist that he what was it the wrist or is it shoulder or
It was like a wrist, finger. It was a hand, finger. Yep.
yeah, and I think Hugh Douglas brought it up here yesterday, or Joe Giglio brought up on WIP yesterday. Said that um, once you snap the ball and once you snap that ball, and also when you have like two hands on the football here and try to grip it, I mean it's gonna be pretty bad for him to try to grip that football. Obviously, he's not a left-handed quarterback, obviously, but at the same time too is that it's gonna give him a little bit of a it's gonna dare I say this, but it's gonna give him a little bit of a trouble here, especially with that like injury he suffered. And obviously, I don't think it'll be a good opportunity. I don't think it'll be if you can't put pressure on Justin Herbert and like especially he is dealing with this injury, then there must be something wrong with this defense here. Because you think about it too, is that I brought it up here a couple weeks ago when the Lions, um, like they actually got like 5 turnovers that the Eagles had 5 turnovers against Jared Goff, and they actually put a lot of pressure on Jordan Love at the same time too. But the problem is, the problem I have with this team is that it feels like they did away. It feels like they just did away with it. I mean, I don't know what the real circumstance would be, especially. I mean, Prescott. That defense was gashed in that second half. The game last week against the Bears was unacceptable. Now it's just like, okay, enough is enough now. Like you need, I mean, the Eagles need to do is now they have to get their head out of their asses. Otherwise, this could really spoil out of control.
Hmm. Yeah, you're definitely right. Something has to happen, and it's sooner rather than later.
Right.
But like you and I and Joe talked about yesterday with Nick Sirianni, right? We
Mm-hmm.
talked about Nick Sirianni and how much of it if it needs to be on the blame on him, and it just like he's not doing much of anything.
No.
Like really, he's not. Kevin Patullo does the offense terribly. Vic Fangio, who we pretty much all trust on the defensive side of the ball, what does Nick Sirianni do? I'll tell you, he's a cheerleader.
Yeah.
He is absolutely a cheerleader. I never liked him. The first time I didn't like him was where with the rock, paper, scissors, and then the flowers. As soon as that moment came in, I'm like, ugh. Long ride, right?
Yeah.
Long ride,
It's,
but
it's,
hey,
it's,
we had a Super Bowl out of it.
it's like Beavis and Butthead. Like, what? Like, you think about it too. I mean, here's the thing that I take out of it with Nick Sirianni. I mean, and even we forgot about too with Sirianni too is that he argued with the fans like at the end of one game too. So that I think it was that same game he brought his kids to the podium, especially after the game, just to show his, I guess his like his father like side, like I mean, I don't know who's to blame for this. I mean, Sirianni is a good example of that. I do agree with you on that, Mitch. But the thing that bothers me the most is that it feels like right now more than anything that the Eagles are just like it's just like I don't know what side is even. I mean, maybe the one thing that is the positive is probably Jake Elliott is like that he's back to normalcy after last year he started to slip a little bit. But it just I don't know, man. I just dude, I swear to God. I mean, it's just it's like we're better than this. Like we're already.
Yeah.
I mean that's the thing. It's just like we just won a Super Bowl, and like we were just celebrating on Broad Street last year, and Nick Sirianni with the Vince Lombardi Trophy, and it feels like we're like having that same kind of ripple effect that we did back in 2018 after we won the Super Bowl. And mind you, too, Joey brought it up yesterday when I went on my epic rant on the very first day of EOP on this Pattison Ave Sports Show, talking about that this was our like the new normal and stuff. I said, okay, that was your new normal, but what's your excuse now? Because ever since then, it's been a real downfall. Hopefully, this doesn't turn into a really bad tailspin, but I really do believe right now if the Eagles have another epic collapse again in 2025, there has to be change. I mean, I don't know if it's Sirianni that goes or Patullo that goes. I mean, I don't know if Vic Fangio will be on the hot seat because Vic Fangio is less to blame if that's the right thing to say here, especially with that defensive front. But it's all bad right now. It's like the whole team. It's like what Jason Kelsey said back in that Super Bowl 52 parade speech. It's the whole team. And that's
You
the
know
one
what
thing
would
that
be funny? You know what
what's
would be
that?
funny? And this
What's
is
that?
a typically Philadelphia Eagle, right?
Oh
We're
yeah.
worried. We got all these worries. We're nervous going into this game. Then the Eagles beat the brakes off the Chargers. That would
Right.
be like the most typical thing. And we're all like, okay, we're fine now. Like most of them will be like, okay, we're good. We're good
Yep.
there. And
Yep.
then I'll be like, yeah, we still got problems. But yeah.
Well,
That's
at least we
basically
won the
what
game, right?
huh?
Yeah.
What'd you
Especially
say?
no, it's like we won the game, but we're still disgruntled too. But it's like the Beatles song, "Magical Mystery Tour," like right? Just
Mm-hmm.
uh, so okay, so good. Since we're talked about Kevin Patullo here, especially like that we talked about here. Obviously, over the week, bad week for Kevin Patullo. Especially there was a couple of knuckleheads egging his house, obviously, which is if you ever have to do that just to prove a point to you, you should be ashamed of yourself. Whoever did
I
this,
feel
then
bad for the eggs.
I can get you feel bad.
I feel bad for the eggs more than anything.
Well, someone said yesterday. Someone thought he was getting rocks like thrown at us. Like I think it was like somebody brought it up here yesterday on our Fly Like an Eagle show. I think it was like that guy Doughboy or somebody. Somebody brought it up here, but I think the other thing too.
Yeah.
But before we go further here, so Adam checks in again and says Doug Pearson saying after the 2017 season saying this is the new norm, and look what happened after that he got fired. Exactly, that's exactly my point here. That was my point when I brought up here too, especially in that 2020 year, and that was, mind you, today's the day 5 years ago. Carson Wentz got benched. Jalen Hurts, your new quarterback, and he's been there ever since. But now, here's the question I like to ask you here too: should Nick be held accountable for all the Kevin Patullo's fair share of errors the last couple weeks?
Yeah, without a doubt. Because A, Kevin Patullo's been in the league for 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
18 years. And he hasn't done much of anything.
Right.
2, Nick Sirianni is Kevin Patullo's friend. He's looking this out for his friend, right? Here, come on, buddy. Let's bring you up here so you can get a better payday.
Right.
Like, come over here. And it's just like, yeah. And Kevin Patullo's not doing a job. Maybe he is holding Kevin Patullo accountable. Maybe he is behind the scenes. We don't know. But maybe Kevin Patullo needs to hold him accountable the other way. It's got to happen. Vic Fangio's got to step in. Like I said before, and I'll say it again, credits to my guy AK, again, for saying this a while back. We need an offensive consultant.
Yeah.
I feel like there's got to be someone who helps Kevin Patullo with the play calling.
Yeah.
Like there's got to be someone. But for me, I'm still trying to figure out who.
Right.
I still don't know who. Like people could say Eric Bieniemy. People could say this guy or that guy.
Right.
I'm like, somebody. I'll take anybody. I'll take someone off the street. I'll take an Uber driver. I'll take. I don't know. I'll take someone who bakes cookies. I don't know. Someone.
Well, you know how much of a puckhead I am. I'll go with Peter Laviolette. Obviously, he's a hockey coach, but he'll rip you a new. I mean, actually, no. I'll go one step further. Let's bring in John Tortorella again. Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's a lot of blame going around here. Obviously, you think about it too, but the thing with Kevin Patullo, that really annoys me is that you got a running back that was in his prime all year long and all that. And yeah, Frank Reich is available. So yeah, I mean, I would take Frank Reich at this point. And even AK, you like you said there too about AK, he's right. I mean, you got to bring in an offensive consultant here more than anything. So for me, the fair share of Kevin Patullo here with his failures the last couple weeks or so has become a real. I mean, even the worst part about it is even when I watch this team, it's kind of like it's simple. It's like there's like I mean, I think John Kincaid brought this up here a couple days ago. He said, "Yeah, it's just simple. It's like there's like nothing flashy. There's like no like RPO that fake it to Barkley and it gives it to AJ for a quick slant or like I mean when do we ever see motion plays anymore? Last year, Kellen Moore. The one thing my dad brought up here was perfectly well said. Like motion plays. Like I haven't seen. I mean, I see motion like a little motion play, but not like anything superior. You know, it's it's so bad that like if it's that simple. Like if Kevin Patullo is a simple guy on the offensive corner, like if it's just simple, then we're just looking at boring football for the next 60 minutes. I mean, yeah, sure, you have like here, you have like a good play here, the AJ once in a while, and a Saquon run here and there once in a while. But are we still thinking? Are we still thinking that? I mean, and you brought it up here too. 18 years as an offensive, I mean, not an offensive coordinator, but 18 years as a coach. And I think I said to myself, as 18 years ago, I mean, I don't know what happened 18 years ago. I mean, maybe it was the Phillies going to or actually clinching the NL East for the first time, or the Flyers getting Danny Briere, or Andre Iguodala was with the Sixers, or Allen Iverson was still with the Sixers at that point. But to your point, though, the one thing that really bothered me more than anything, it's just that, like, if it's simple, I mean, you want to think simple, obviously, in your mindset every day. That every day should be simple. Like you should like my Aunt Angel said it best here before she tragically passed away. May she rest in peace, dear. She said, "Keep everything simple." But the problem is too, if it's simple for an offense. I mean, it's different to have normal life mindset of as simple. But if it's a coordinator that's doing simple stuff, like just like simple routine, then it's like, okay, simple could be good for like like I said, your normal everyday in life. But if it's simple for your football team, it's not good. It's just not
Mm.
good.
It's definitely not. It's definitely something needs
You gotta have a
to
Patrick Mahomes
change.
spinning nickels on your forehead type of feel, you know? I mean, look at
Yeah.
I mean, you think about last week against that Chiefs game. Yeah, obviously they're getting blown away by the Cowboys, and he still finds a way to make those Patrick Mahomes kind of like, how does he do it, you know?
Yeah.
But
So I want to
I don't
bring
know,
up
man.
Adam's comment real quick with
Bingo.
Frank Wright.
Simple
Simple
vanilla
vanilla
offense.
offense. Yeah.
Exactly right.
It's kind of like
Bingo.
the Sixers with the ISO and no one moves. And then
Yeah.
we don't score. It's just like I want to bring up the Frank Wright thing.
Sure.
Obviously, thank you for Frank Wright for everything. James, you know this. I'm not big on bringing people back
Mm-hmm.
into the organization. Like, I didn't want Brandon Graham here. I didn't want him back, and I'm standing 10 toes down on that. I don't want him back. Sup, Wesley? How's it going? Frank Wright, thank you for everything you've done, but we got to move on here. We got to move on to the next person. Is Kevin Patullo that? Hell no. He is not that guy. Definitely not. So for me, we got to fire him and find the next guy who can do that. Like, I am so done with bringing people back that it's just like it's the same thing year after year. It's the same exact thing. That's just my opinion. Now, James, you may want Frank Wright back, and that's okay with you.
Yeah.
But for me,
I mean,
thank you for everything, Frank
well, here's the thing too. I would, if this was like 3 years ago, and we're still trying to figure out who could be our coordinator to replace Brian Johnson. But Frank Wright, though, I looked at his resume, and there has to be a reason why that he was. I mean, he wasn't successful as a coach, obviously, with the Colts, but that was Carson Wentz shitting the bed, obviously.
Yeah.
But then he went to Stanford for a little bit, and he was only gone. He was like there for only 2 years. You know, he was only there for 2 years, and after that, he got canned. Obviously, and the guy that's taking his spot now is a guy that everybody was excited about. If you didn't see the Hard Knocks series, I think it was the Commanders' offensive, or either the quarterback's coach, or I mean, it wasn't. I mean, you know, this is gonna drive me crazy here. But why didn't we go after Cliff Kingsbury? I mean, that would have been the perfect guy. I mean,
Yeah.
sure. I mean,
Yeah.
sure. I remember I brought this up a couple years ago. I brought this up one time to a friend of mine. I said to myself, and this was when around the time the Eagles were still struggling, and they were 2-2 before Kellen Moore opened up the playbook. Obviously, I said to myself, wait a second. Cliff Kingsbury teached Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl MVP, Sports Illustrated cover, like obviously player to be superstar in Patrick Mahomes, and we didn't bring him in here. And then everybody was like, "Oh, okay, but he didn't do very well with Kyler Murray." Let's just say maybe Kyler Murray was in over his head a little bit, but with Cliff Kingsbury, he's the same coordinator with the Commanders now.
What Kyler Murray wanted to do. This was Kyler Murray, okay?
Exactly.
I don't want to hear anything about Kyler Murray. Anything. He can't ride rides. He can't reach the height limit of rides.
And he's injured again. Exactly right.
Yeah, I can't either. I'm too small. I can't either.
Well, you know who would be a good offensive consultant here since we're talking about this too?
Who?
Get Bruce Arians a call. I mean, Bruce Arians is would be a good guy.
That name I have not heard in a while, and I agree with you.
Yeah,
I haven't heard that name in God knows how long.
Well, since Tom Brady's last Super Bowl. We're talking like 5 years ago. But yeah, I mean, Bruce Arians made like Ben Roethlisberger into something, or he made Andrew. I mean, when Andrew Luck was still a quarterback in his prime, when Chuck Pagano was diagnosed with cancer, he actually helped the team get a culture. I think Bruce Arians. I since I brought it up here, I said, wait a second here, Bruce Arians. That will be a perfect offensive consultant. I think for sure, if you put Bruce Arians right next to Nick Sirianni, you might be winning another Super Bowl by now, right? Right about now.
Yeah, and I want to bring
up Adam's a good guy too. He's a real down to earth good guy.
I love Bruce Arians. I love that guy.
As do I.
Yeah. I want to bring up Adam's comment real quick. Sure. I feel bad for Jalen Hurts. He can't keep an offensive coordinator more than a year. It's unfortunate. It's been like that ever since Bama. But I have a question for you guys here. Sure. And I'm going to ask it on Weekend Wake Up in an hour and a half or whatever. If somehow they fire Kevin Patullo and bring another one in, do you think Jalen Hurts might snap? What is the breaking point for Jalen Hurts? Is it another offensive coordinator? Is it another one? Or is it like, listen, man, I'm doing everything I can. I need help here. Obviously, he's getting all the help he needs in the world. Obviously, it can't be that. So what is the breaking point for Jalen Hurts? Or does he not have a breaking point?
So you're saying he might be burning himself out?
There might be. There might be a chance because
good question.
Kevin Patullo is not putting him in a good situations right now. Jalen Hurts is not. He definitely did not have the best of seasons. This is not one of his best seasons by far. So I wonder what's going in the mind of Jalen Hurts. I really do. Is there going to be a point where he's going to be like, you know what? Ticking time bomb. Got to speak up. He's got to speak up. There's always been that guy. Remember Allen Iverson with the practice?
Yep.
That was him. That was his breaking point. So I'm like, there's a breaking point for everybody.
Yeah, I worry about it too because obviously there was a time I always watched this interview with Mike Mayock a couple years ago. This was like actually 2023, so this was after he was with the Raiders. He talked about it with Chris Long's podcast here, and he said this is a job that doesn't take any prisoners. I mean, it's 7 days a week, probably 365. Even though when you do have a day off, you don't have a day off. And he said, honestly, I felt like shit and I look like shit. But I feel like now it's probably the same thing I have with Jalen Hurts here too, is that like if he's like running, like let's say for example, like in the gym 24/7, 365 and not even catching a break, and just trying to do whatever he can to get better, the breaking point could happen. Obviously, that worries me a little bit here too. Is that when it will be a breaking point, but once it's a breaking point with all those offensive coordinators, it's like after a while, it's like, yeah, you're right. It's like there's a possibility that this could burn him out before.
Only a matter of time.
Only a matter of time.
The Eagles
Exactly.
giving him everything. They gave
Right.
him the money, which he took a pay cut so the Eagles can build a better roster.
Mm-hmm.
And then now you have another offensive coordinator problem. You had A.J. Brown speaking out again. A.J. Brown with the drama, time in and time out. The offensive line is injured. Jeff Stoutland not doing the best on the offensive line this year. So it's just like, what is that? And again, we are 8-4. Again, we are 8-4.
That's right.
That is just the funniest thing to me.
I know.
Maybe the record's not the whole story.
It doesn't even feel. I mean, it feels like we're 4-8 than 8-4. You know, that's how bad it is. It feels like we're like a 4-win team at this point, especially. I mean, 8-4. I mean, this is the thing that drives me crazy about it too. Is that even we go back to week 3. I know we got to move on here, but like the Rams game, I think it was like week 3, and it was 26-7, and then Jalen Hurts had to like basically say, okay, enough is enough, and I'm taking this team on my back, and we're gonna win this game, kind of like he pulled a Joe Montana. And I thought, okay,
you mean Joe Montana?
Yeah, right. So, yeah, I mean, the thing that bothered me the most is that I didn't take that into consideration. It's just like, yeah, this could get really bad if things don't get if these things are not fixable. It's going to spoil out of control, and now it's kind of like we're having the same problems that we did back in 2023, but worse.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I don't think he is going to tick. I don't think the time bomb is going to go off because Jalen.
That's to worry you a little bit. I mean, right?
It does. That's in the back of my mind.
You know,
but he's just not that kind of guy, though. Jalen is not that kind of guy. He's about keep it professional, keep the main thing the main thing.
That's right.
He's just that guy where it's just like he puts everything over himself, but there's got to be a time where he's like, you know what? I feel like what is that? A stick of dynamite. So you just, and then you go, boom.
Yeah,
I feel like that could be it too.
Right. Yep. Absolutely. All right. So, well, this is a good question I'd like to ask you here too, Mitch. This is something that Joey brought up here. So, is it time to see the Eagles pay more attention to the offensive line? So So he's asking and start to draft more guys that can replace like a guy like Lane to fill that guard role next to Lane. If that's the right question.
Yes. Now it's the time to rebuild the offensive line because Lane Johnson, we don't know how much time he's got left. Right. Dickerson is injured. Cam Jurgens, he's been in and out all year. We lost Mekhi Becton, who's actually we're going to play against, and he's not even playing there. So
yeah, he's not.
We have Fred Johnson. Right. We have these other guys, but they are not. What is it? They are not the solution. They are just seat warmers. I feel like these are the guys that are just like there for the time being until the off season, and then maybe we can get like a splash or someone to put in there for the future. So, yeah, now it's the time.
Yeah, maybe it's time, right? So, yeah, I mean that's what I worry about too, especially when especially coming up here. I mean, you think about the Matt Pryors, you think about the Fred Johnsons. I mean, Fred Johnson's a good piece for a limited time, but Lane Johnson, he's at towards the end. I can imagine at the end of the year he might be considering retirement. Cam Jurgens, we don't know if he's like healthy enough, and we all know coming in like with not Lane Johnson, Landon Dickerson's career. Obviously, it took him a couple years to recover from it, but he came off a serious injury back during his college days. So, I mean, there's also a little bit of a head scratcher on that too. But I I don't know who will be a good piece to replace him with. Obviously, you got to think about the days. You got to replace those Super Bowl pieces. Obviously, I mean, I guess Cam Jurgens was a positive a little bit, especially after Kelsey retired. But I I'm kind of skeptical about that we never signed Mekhi Becton. I guess Mekhi Becton just took the money and ran with it, especially more than anything when he went to the Chargers here. But yeah, I
And
mean, what's that?
don't forget, we lost Mel Williams too.
Yeah,
Mel Williams went to the Patriots, and
he's
I'm
doing
just
good right now,
saying,
and he's doing pretty
money
good right now.
talks. Money talks. Coming from a Jew, believe me, money talks. So I'm
Yeah,
just saying here, it's just like
look
I
at
can't
Josh
be mad.
Sweat. Look at Josh
Josh
Sweat.
Sweat too. I could go on and on. I
Yep.
can't feel bad for these guys because they're feeding their families. They're doing this for their families. James, let me ask you this, right? If you're on the Philadelphia Eagles, right, and you're coming off of a Super Bowl victory, and you're a free agent, would you have stayed or would you have taken the more money? Because for me, my Jews instincts are kicking in. I'm taking the money. I'm taking the money.
Taking the money and run.
I'm taking the money.
Well,
You can't be mad.
no, you can't. You can't.
Oh,
Yeah,
your dad comes in. Oh,
yeah. Joe
hey, what
Squares
is
is
up,
good.
Miss?
But
What is up, Mr. Scorza?
so he says he agrees with the offensive line here. He says how he needs to focus on drafting a stud O line high on this upcoming draft. Yeah, that's the truth. That's
Yeah.
that. In the words of Kurt Angle, that's true, and that's damn true. You know,
Mm-hmm.
more than anything. So you know what else too here? You know what really bothers me about this team here? I This may be the first draft that I don't even know who's going to be the star, the star player that the Eagles are going to be talking like who would be. I mean, obviously, you think about the darlings of my Georgia Bulldogs were the N'Kobe Deans, Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, the Alabama Crimson, the SEC. I look at it now. It's like, okay, so are we gonna go after somebody that's Jake Bobo's offensive line of Georgia, or it will be the offensive line that Alabama has, or it right now it just. I mean, this may be the first year. I mean, obviously because of the transfer portal, I don't know who's the dare I say it the draft darling, like Mike Mayock would say. I mean, especially for this Eagles team right now, especially in these next couple of weeks or so. Maybe I got to keep a close eye on that that playoff bracket with the top 12 teams to see who is that darling for that offensive line. But honestly, there's not a lot of good not a lot of good pieces out there. Going to admit.
There's not. There's really not. And the one thing I like about Howie Roseman the most is that he always likes to build in the trenches. So that is what he's known for. He's known for that, and he's known for contracts. So I trust Howie Roseman when it comes to the offensive line and building the trenches. So he can find someone. Hell, he found Jordan Mailata, who's a rugby guy,
That's
later
right.
in the 6th round, and then you had Jeff Stoutland take him to one of the best left guards in the league. Left guards,
Yeah.
left tackle. So
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
like, I trust the front office when it comes to the offensive line. I'm not as nervous as everyone is. So I'm like, let's take a deep breath here. We got a lot of time for this. The draft is coming up. Obviously, I don't pay attention too much in the draft. I'm an NBA guy.
I'm with you.
So I pay attention to more of the NBA draft more than NFL. So I can't give my 2 cents on that. But I trust those guys to find someone.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, this may be the first year of the NFL draft that we might be seeing. God, dare I say this, but a Danny Watkins type of draft. You know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's how crazy the transfer portal is. It's because like you can find, like you even brought up here, and you said it best there too, is that you can find like like a sixth round pick, like a guy that's a rugby player, and transfer him into a left tackle is like nothing short of spectacular to see what he did with Jeff Stoutland did, and salute to him for doing that. But then you could find another guy that could be a good, maybe good piece, maybe okay piece. But at the same time, too, it's just like, yeah, I mean, sometimes when it matters the most, it's just that, yeah, I don't know, man. I just there's not a lot to get. There's not a lot out there. All right, so okay, so we'll move on here. So obviously, well, we'll worry about that for another day here. We'll probably worry about that when the draft comes around, especially what the Eagles would do, whatever they're going to be picking come April. So Joey brings up a good question here coming up this weekend against the Chargers here. So what do you think will be the biggest challenges going into this game this week against the Chargers? And what would your biggest challenge would be for this team to try to get a win and try to get back on track here?
So I have two. So I'm gonna say them both, but my main one is the play calling.
Right.
That is my number one. I mean, it's just like it's clear as day. You see these plays, and it's just like I feel like I'm playing men. I feel like I'm actually playing men, and I have not. What is up, Bobby? I haven't seen you in a minute. I feel like I'm playing man with these guys, and it's on difficult. It's on like the hardest difficulty imaginable. So I'm just like, I'm not AK. I'm not 35 best in the world when it comes to men. I am not. So yeah, play calling. And two, hey, what is up, Gregor? My guy Gregor, what is up? Is Herbert healthy?
Probably up in the 50-50.
Opposite hand. So
50-50. So it's like 50-50.
So my second one is rushing the quarterback. That is my second one because Jalen Carter's out. And who's going to be that guy to step up and get those sacks? Jalen Hunt, he's been on a roll. Credit to our guy Joe. He nailed it in the beginning of the season. He's like, Hunt is going to be the guy this year. And so far, he's been one of the main guys. Nolan Smith, could he be that guy? You know, getting on the outside, getting to Herbert. Herbert is not much of a runner. So that is a plus. But with Jalen Carter out, that is going to be a huge, huge fall. And then CB2. Who's ever at the cornerback 2, I'm like, ugh. Adoree Jackson, bruh. And then obviously, we're not going to get Slay. So, do you want Slay back? Do you want Slay? I don't. I
don't actually, but I'll tell you this right now.
Yeah.
I looked at Avonte Maddox with the Lions a couple days ago. Obviously against the Cowboys. I said to myself why didn't we get rid of him? Why didn't we get rid of him? I was saying, well, CJ Gardner-Johnson should have been there too. But I heard Herb Street said Avonte Maddox's name. I said, damn it, why did we do this? I mean, and I remember early on, I was at a doctor's appointment, and my dad was telling me, yeah, C.J. Gardner-Johnson just got traded for a guy named Kenton Hilton, whatever his name was at the time, but he didn't even make the friggin' 53-man roster. And I remember I said to my dad, I was like, what the hell is Howie doing? I kind of sound like Matty B a little bit. I said to myself, like, dude, what the hell is he doing? But kudos to Matty B. He is right about this kind of stuff, what Howie tries to do here. But I understand you don't want to run it back here like the Phillies, for an example here, but you got to bring someone that like those leader presence in the locker room. Like, I mean, right now, Brandon Graham was a veteran presence, but it's like he's not even effective anymore. I mean, yeah, sure, if you're still looking for your first ever Super Bowl and you're looking for that veteran presence, but I mean, I don't know, man. I sit here every week and I say to myself, was Brandon Graham a good move to bring back here? I don't know. No offense to my Bulldogs here, but you want to talk about that dog mentality, which they do. At the same time, too, I just don't know who will take the roles of being that leader in that locker room for that defensive front. Or, we thought about it earlier on the offensive front with Saquon or Devontae. But for me, I don't know who is going to be that leader presence on that defense. I mean, maybe that could be Jordan Davis. Maybe that could be Jalen Carter. Maybe it could be dare I say, Zach Bond or Jalen Hunt, like you brought up. It could be one of those like low key guys that becomes more of a leader presence for that defensive front. But right now, it's just it's all bad right now. And like you said, like for you've been preaching to the choir for about this. Like we're 8-4, but it feels like this might be the most dysfunctional 8-4 team that I ever could remember. Gonna admit,
it's just a Philly thing. Funny.
it is. Yeah, it's true. No, you're right. It is.
But it's just like, man, it's just 1 year. It's just like off and on here. It's off and on. There's no consistency. There's no consistency whatsoever. And by the way, guys, really quick plug. Our new video is just up, the solution breakdown. I'm going to put it in the chat right now. My good friend Mark Baker, his podcast. So if anyone likes football, go check it out. There it is in the chat right there.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right, next question. Oh, what is up, Chad?
What's up, Chad? How you doing, buddy? All right, so, well, this is a good question here. We got a couple more here before we get out of here, obviously, because we got another show coming up here. So, the Eagles' recent success has been in LA with the creating a place of making a home game, away game rather, into a home game or home from home, if that's the right word. Do you think the struggles as of lately will change that, especially that the Eagles have been playing these last couple of weeks? You think that the Eagles do you think the Philly sports trips and the fans of Philly trips maybe want to hold back the fandom a little bit, especially having the play, especially how they have been playing? I mean, like, what's your immediate thoughts on this one more than anything, especially coming up this week?
So with the fans, you're saying, right? Or
just the fans in general. Like, do you think they're going to make the trip to LA, especially with this team has been playing the last couple of weeks?
I'm telling you right now, these fans are a diehard, like super diehard fans. They travel with the team. They went to Brazil for crying out loud.
Right.
So I definitely see the Eagles fans going to every stadium for the rest of the season, no matter how bad it is, no matter how great it is. The Eagles fans are always there for their teams, and it's just like I don't see them stepping back at all. So I see them just keep doing what the Eagles fans do. Show support. That's exactly what I see them.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be that much different, obviously, because obviously they paid their hard-earned money to try to be there, obviously. So, I mean, the only problem I have here too with the Chargers fans, obviously, and also here too, is that if the Eagles start to play badly, it's gonna feel like a home game. It's not gonna be. It's gonna feel like how it was. Like they're serenading a booze, especially, and they're not gonna be chanting. They're not gonna be cheering Boosh or like for example, if Brian Boucher was still playing for the Flyers. No, that's gonna be a heavy dosage of booze. So dare I say this right now? So probably so he says Kitty Cat probably will be going to that game too.
Cool Cat. My co-host of Cool Cat, Mitch. He's the biggest Jalen Hurts fan known to man. He doesn't go to the Chargers. He's going to the Eagles with Commanders at the end of the season. So it's just I don't think he's going there, but he's one of the biggest Jalen Hurts fans that I know.
Speaking of Cat.
Hey!
she's my pride and joy right.
That's great.
So all right, so this is the time of the show here that we usually say our predictions, but Joey's got a little bit of a 2-minute rally here for us to do here. So, Mitch, if you can try to do whatever you can to try to motivate this team, what would your motivational speech would be like for this Eagles team going forward?
Hold on, I got it. Here, I got it. I got a better way so you can stay on. So there we go.
Okay, my bad.
Here, but it's on my screen. So I'm going to show you that really quick, guys. Just a quick thing. So you see us on the bottom?
Mm-hmm.
So there's like a little square on the top left. So you click that. It's a solo layout. So if I click it for you, you'll be up.
Okay.
So, yep, I got you. All good.
Appreciate
So,
it.
yeah. So for me, how do I see this? Because you're better at this than me, James. I'm just going to say that right now. You're definitely better at this than me.
I
So,
appreciate it, buddy.
yeah. So for me, this is going to be funny. At first, grab a cup of water. You don't need Gatorade. Grab a cup of H2O and grab the water boy and go have him sack Justin Herbert 15 times. That is the first thing we got to do. But second thing, just like keep the main thing, right? And have
Sure.
the Eagles just persevere, go through. This is not the first time. This is not the first rodeo we've been down this route. Like the Eagles, especially Jalen Hurts, have especially know what to do at this given moment. Take advantage of it. Keep on doing what you're doing. And Kevin Patullo to shut up and do something else. I don't even want Kevin Patullo here, but to keep doing it, main thing. Here you go, man. I'll bring you up. There you go.
All right. So, the last 2 weeks I've came around here, and you wonder who your identity is. Well, this is where you need to show your identity. You need to show your identity so much so that this is like a playoff game. There's a bunch of people here tonight from South Philadelphia and all around the Delaware Valley are trying to root for you. There's teams are actually saying that the Eagles might be exposed. Well, are you going to get exposed? Or are you going to show who you are as a team? This Eagles team needs to do one thing this week. They need to find their identity. Otherwise, it will be another week. We sit back and we figure out, okay, is it either the Eagles are the problem, the coaching is the problem, or do we have to make change? I've given up so much hope on this team. Sometimes I say to myself, I'm done with this team, but I never give up on this team. But the way they played the last 2 weeks, there's two things that have to come out of this game this week. Motivation and also an identity. Not motivation, and also Nick Sirianni says about that low-key thing that he talked about what he talked about before. Just, you need to find your identity. You need to stay disciplined, and also you have to do whatever you can. Just put these 2 games behind you and do whatever you could to get back where you were as a team and also what you are as a franchise. And this week, you have to find your identity. Otherwise, the season is going to be over. Oh.
I got it.
So, there we go.
Yep, got it.
Thanks, man. Yep.
Told you guys he's better at that than me. So,
I'll tell you this right now.
Yeah.
If I ever called radio stations, I would be, dare I say this, I mean, everybody talks about that. I mean, I hear all the radio stations all the time when they do their pump up speech. I said to myself is, I don't need the Rocky theme. I don't need, where my motivation comes from. It comes from here. Okay.
Yep.
The veteran presence of my teams. I probably got it early on because I played basketball and my coach was a motivational speaker, and he tried to do whatever he can to try to motivate us every week. But that's what the thing the Eagles have to do this week. They have to find their identity. I mean, it's 14 weeks of this shit. Wake up! You got to wake up. Otherwise, it's gonna be outside just garbage left over from 2023.
Mm-hmm. All right, man. Prediction time, right?
Yes, sir. So, fire away, my brother.
Oh. As of right now, man, I'm leaning towards the Chargers, and it's not going good, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I got the Chargers winning and the Eagles losing streak still going. So I got the Chargers winning 20-14. I got the Chargers
Yeah.
winning 20-14.
I didn't give you my score prediction, but I just said the Chargers. So obviously, it's going to be either. I mean, I hate to say this right now, but I'm in the same boat as you are, Mitch. I mean, I love this Eagles team. I mean, I bleed green to I'm blue in the face. But the problem is that once I see bad, I see bad. Once it's bad, it stinks. I mean, it's like garbage truck juice, like something like that. That's how bad it is. But yeah, I mean, I hope we are coming back next week with a better mindset. But I don't see the Eagles winning this game. I just don't see the. I mean, the only reason why I don't see the Eagles get blown out by the Chargers is because Justin Herbert is hurt. You know, that's the one thing I worry about it too. So for me, it's gonna be close. Actually, no, I think it'll be probably little. Actually, you know what? It's going to be a low scoring game. I say the Eagles are going to lose 20-17.
Okay. All right. So there we have it, guys. So that's our predictions here. Very tough one.
Yeah, this one's like it does, you know, like it feels like we ate a sour grape or something like that too, right? All right, that's gonna wrap up this edition of the Pattison Ave Sports Show for today. Want to thank Mitch Kofsky, like he always does. He does an admirable job on all this stuff and everything included. Mitch, where people can see you next, my friend?
So you guys can see me at the weekend wake up at 11 o'clock today. It's gonna be me, Philly halftime, and our special guest Adam Sees. Actually, he's going to be popping on. We'll be talking about most of the Eagles, maybe a little bit of the Sixers, but for my topics, we're going to go most of the Eagles here. And then, check out the solution breakdown. The video's out right now. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for me.
Yeah. I mean, likewise. Speaking of this week, we got a jam-packed show coming up this week. We got another Flyers show coming up. A positive Philadelphia Flyers team coming up this week. This week at Flyers hockey coming up on Monday. We'll be talking about some Flyers games coming up this week, especially a big game coming up tomorrow afternoon against those Colorado Avalanche, which, by the way, hasn't lost a game in quite a while. They only lost one game in a matter of the last 2 months or so. So that guy, Matvei Michkov, like you mentioned, Mitch, always talks about it. Hopefully we get some goals from him, some Trevor Zegras and everybody included, and even some other key components along the way too. But like I said, tune in on Monday for another edition of This Week at Flyers Hockey. That's set for 4 o'clock on Hardcore Sports Network and Stream Punk Entertainment. All right, that's going to wrap it up here for today for this edition of the Pattison Ave Sports Show. Joey will be back with us next 2 weeks or so. We'll be getting ready for that Washington game, and hopefully we'll be excited to say that the Eagles have won the NFC East, and then we'll celebrate, hopefully, a Christmas present instead of Festivus present if you are a Seinfeld fan. And hopefully,
don't forget Hanukkah present too.
Hanukkah present too. Exactly right. So hopefully next 2 weeks, I want to talk about my airing of the grievances too about this Eagles team.
What I do on every night of Hanukkah?
What's that?
Did I ever tell you guys this? Have you ever seen the movie Adam Sandler's 8 Crazy Nights?
Oh my God.
I watch it every single night.
Oh my God. Seriously?
I love that movie. It's the only Hanukkah movie we pretty much got.
Well, I know. Well, here, what's that Christmas movie that they always talk about? The Chevy Chase movie.
Yeah. That's
I've never seen that movie. Yeah, something like that.
I've never seen it.
Nah, me neither. But
I don't watch Christmas movies.
They always say Die Hard's a Christmas movie, but there's a friend of mine who says, the Chevy Chase movie is a Christmas movie for sure. I've never seen it, So
I don't either. I don't watch Christmas movies.
Nah, me neither.
I've never seen Elf. I've never seen Elf.
Don't say it to Robert Manning. Robert Manning's going to come and get you.
Oh, I don't care. I don't care. Yeah,
Oh
guys, we're
man.
gonna have to show up
All right,
here.
that's gonna wrap it up here today. So now for everyone behind the scenes and for everyone that made it work here, for Mitch Kofsky, for Joey Marks, and for myself here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. I'm gonna lay down for a little bit before my Bulldogs take on Bama. Until then, we'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Happy holidays, everybody. Go Birds, and we'll see you guys on the other side.